Come on in, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hi, everybody. We're back. Everybody's in bed with me tonight because it's cold. It's hot. I'm sorry. It's hot. It's hot in Cleveland. Hot. So we gotta have some air, some AC. I gotta have some air.
Good evening, Moses. Yeah, no, we just went. I just went to the store and bought 2 units for our house. We're trying to get them put in now because it is 100-degree temperature heat.
Yeah, we were in the 90s and then a storm rolled through.
A swarm?
Storm, yep.
What is that?
A storm, a thunderstorm.
Oh, storm. I wish a thunderstorm would come through. It's 100 degrees here.
Yeah, we're in the... I don't know what we are right now. Let me go look and see. Well, the storm came from the west because I wound up outrunning it to get home. It's 85 here right now.
I know what a storm is, Moses. I didn't hear what she said. You see this shit? This is why he goes in the corner, and you gave him a get out the corner free pass. Hi, babes.
Hi, Passion.
Where's my Lorenzo?
Well, I got it up late. I'm not sure if they're back from vacation.
Oh, okay.
To be honest. But I got back, I got it up late. So, you guys, I've been ripping and running, so it's totally all on me. But
hi, Kat.
Oh, I'm so happy you're on here, Kat. Can you give Ashley my phone number, please? We're trying to have her here, and her and I are missing each other. Trying to have her for EEE in November. I'm trying to find my daily. I think tomorrow's going to be 90 here.
Hi, Dani.
What? Hey,
we miss you, love.
We sure do. We got 24% chance of rain. High 90. High 90.
I think that's what it was here today, but the heat index made it 100 degrees.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I went out early. I'm going out early tomorrow, so I'm trying
You got air in your car, though.
Yeah, I do. That bitch was on. I went down to Hot Atlanta and about died down there. I'm just gonna no.
Oh, you got mangoes on your trees? I need to be in Barbados. I need a mango.
All I'm gonna say is show off.
Mm-hmm.
You the reason it's burning up here in Cleveland. That's how.
Yep. It's his fault. I don't know why it's hot in Indy then, though, because he didn't come here.
Are you coming on? Are you coming on?
She back? We
We
can't hear you.
can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm out, but I have to pick up some people in like 20 minutes. So I just wanted to come in and say hi. I'm alive.
We know you're alive. We love you. We miss you.
I miss you guys too. I love you guys too. Just a lot happening, and I will definitely be back when I can. I don't know when, but I will be back when I can.
We
I
know.
just wanted to say hi, and I love you guys.
love
Love you.
you.
All right. All
Hearts,
right. I'm out.
hearts,
Bye.
Bye.
hearts. That was nice. We had our siren on tonight. Woo! The three of
I
us were
know,
together
right?
in grief, but we were together.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, so happy to see her on. Just letting everybody know, Siren is on hiatus. She will be back when, like she just stated, when she can and when she's ready. We want you also once again to understand that life happens, life be lifing sometimes, and keep her husband in your prayers, please, please, please. Michael has more surgery coming down the line this week, I do believe. So we will definitely give you an update next week on how things went. So just keep Siren and her husband in your prayers and their family. Want Michael to have a speedy recovery.
Amen.
Yes, 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 yes. So thank you so
Good
much.
morning.
Hey, Nathan. Nathan, what part of the country you in, honey? Good morning. Good evening. Good evening.
Maybe he just woke up for the day.
That might be. That could be. I do understand. That I do understand. Everybody, y'all are in bed with me tonight because the AC is in this room. It is hot in Cleveland, and I live in an old building with no central air and all brick. And I
I
wish
live in an old house with no central air. I understand.
mm, mm, just crazy.
If y'all hear some clacking and clanking, it's because my son-in-law is trying to put all the air conditioners in the rooms.
Who we got? Ha! Oh my goodness! Hello, Miss Lyons. How are you? Or should I say Miss Cashmere? Hi. Hey, lady.
Nathan said it's his first time with us.
Well, welcome.
He said it's the first time he see us today.
Hi, Teddy.
Hi, Teddy. I miss you, Teddy.
Well, hey, everybody. Everybody probably got their AC on. It is, woo. It
I'm
looks,
just glad I don't live in Texas because it's like 107 degrees.
yeah. Summer is showing up and showing out. Okay, and it's
Last summer it didn't show up, so I guess it decided to show up this year.
yeah, it's doubling. Ah, doubling up on us.
That makes my heart, Teddy.
Well, everybody, welcome. We have got a tough topic tonight. Okay, it is a toughie because it's an important one, and it kind of piggybacks off of our last topic that we had with Hood Rays. Mr. Ollie Woods was on here a few weeks ago. So these are topics that we got to talk about. We got to have these discussions because we're not having these discussions, and these behaviors are continuing. So we really, really, really want to make sure that not only do we talk about the good, about being in the different lifestyles, but unfortunately, we got to talk a little bit about the bad. Okay, we just have to. It is not something that we all want to talk about, but it is something that needs to be discussed so that people have a safe place to go. Because that's basically what this lifestyle is about being safe. Okay.
Yes.
So tonight we're going to talk about predators in the lifestyle, within the lifestyle. Now we all know predators exist. They are male, they are female, they are trans, they are human beings, okay? And they are out there preying on people that are unsuspecting, um, maybe a little naive at some point, possibly. Um, Very trusting, might be trusting of this person um, or people. Might be someone that knows the person or is infatuated by the person, that it can happen to any of us, where we can actually be in the midst of a predator and not really know it. I worked in criminal probation when I lived in Indianapolis. And let me tell you, predators look just like you and I. They do not run around announcing that they're going to do bad things to people. They,
Nope.
they simply just do. Okay. Um, And in the lifestyle that we are in, whether it's BDSM or it's swingers or it's poly or some of the fetishes that we enjoy participating in, having a predator amongst us can be extremely dangerous. It can compromise a lot of what we are building by saying that we have a safe space, and we find out that we technically or we really don't have that safe space. So
Correct.
it is um, a difficult topic to talk about, but it's one that needs to be talked about. What do you think, Miss Purple Rain?
I agree. Um, Especially from the aspect of what is considered a predator. Because most people consider predators like specific, but not realizing that certain behaviors are predatory, even if you mentally don't mean harm. If you're constantly doing it and people are constantly telling you no and you just keep forcing yourself, that's predatory behavior.
And a lot of people, especially when we're in this lifestyle, you've got to have that bond and you've got to have that trust, because you're allowing either whether it's your dom or it's a dominant that happens to be doing a scene with you. um, you're trusting that person to be, number one, forthcoming with information, um, and to know what they're doing. And I think,
Yeah.
and there's not only just predators as far as dominance goes, but there's also predators on the sub level as well as the slave level.
Yeah, but but also when we're talking about the lifestyle, there's also predators that are event predators
Hmm.
and not necessarily people you trust, but people that are, trying to demand your attention in a way that comes across off-putting.
And hey, Rod. Hi, D. Making
Hey,
sure
Rod.
I say.
Hey.
A lot of folks, we get into this life, into the different lifestyles, and of course we know what happens in the vanilla lifestyle as well, so we don't want to leave that out. um Robert asks, explain how you can have a predatory S type.
Someone that's trying to force themselves on you as a dominant. Um, I have a lot of predators that come into my inbox. Mind you, yes, it says I'm a mistress on my page, but it's not something that I advertise. Like, I just put my dungeon stuff online. Um, and I get S types that hop in my inbox and say, "Let me serve you, mistress." And when I tell them no, they beg, they plead, they offer to do stuff that I'm not even interested in, thinking that it's going to get me to take them on when it's a lot deeper than that for me. Um, especially with when it comes to them wanting sexual things in return for their service or whatever it is. They think serving me is jacking off on camera for me. That's not stuff that turns me on. And they'll send stuff that I'm not necessarily wanting. Ladies need to be aware and vigilant in life, period. Predators say all the right things and as well. Sometimes poor behavior shows up after you have already gone too far. That is true, Nathan. That is true.
And it's not just ladies that need to be aware. It's also our men as well. Um,
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was referring to earlier because a lot of people don't like to consider them predators, but there are female predators, Moses, but there are women that go to events and they get away with it, but they'll walk up to a man and touch his private parts, or walk up to a man and smack him on his ass, or walk up to a man and say that dick is mine. Like, and had never had a conversation with that man or made that man feel uncomfortable, coming off real aggressive. You're
Also,
right. A lot of times it gets overlooked, and
yeah.
that's why we're talking about it.
Also, when we're talking about the sub or the slave, we're also talking about those subs or slaves to me that dominant jump.
Yep, that
They
dominant jump.
they go from one dominant to another dominant to another dominant to another dominant to another dominant. Um, they're jumping around after they've stated what they wanted, but that's not really what they wanted. They wanted something else, or they want to kind of, as we've talked about before, try to top from the bottom.
Uh-huh.
That can also be considered predatory as well because it's not a good look. It just really is not a good look. I did, of course, you know me, I always got to go get those definitions. So, our definition of predator is for an animal that naturally preys on others. Wolves are major predators of rodents. Females defend the nest by actively chasing off predators. A person who ruthlessly exploits others. A sexual predator, her wealth made her vulnerable to predators. A company that tries to take over another. A defensive move to prevent the business falling into the hands of overseas predators. The origin comes in the late 16th century from the Latin predator or plunderer. So if you think of everything that I just read and you add that to the lifestyle, the way that the lifestyle is, you will definitely find that a lot of predators can also simply be amongst us, and maybe we don't recognize it. Maybe we're passing it off, especially in the BDSM world, as them just doing them or just being them. So we have to be very, very careful of that.
I agree.
Sissy Stakes, excuse me, goddesses. That's because the white beta like me would be locked up in chastity cage and bag for the black femdom goddess like you. Please, would you be our key holder? Thank you so much. Sure, I love being a key holder. That I can do with no problem. But when we're talking about a predator, predators don't necessarily negotiate everything.
Yep, I agree.
They might spring a few things on you unexpectedly. Um, they might take things too far.
Completely.
Scenes that are not, uh, or tell you something after the fact. And I'm hearing a lot of that now, uh, with being back in the lifestyle. I'm hearing a lot of full disclosure is not coming from some dominance, and a lot of full disclosure is not coming from your S types either.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically is like a lack of communication or a failure to communicate. And that's not what we're really about, because we want to make sure everybody is in a safe space. Everyone is enjoying, whatever their scene is, or whatever, they're doing privately, or whether they're doing it privately or publicly. Everybody is on the same page of the playbook. And it seems like when you're getting with a predator, it seems to me that the predators start out on the same page, but then they kind of go off on their own and do their own thing, and not necessarily have the permission. We did have, a gentleman from New York who he mentioned he was kind of, on one of our previous shows, basically was passed around, so to speak, and wasn't treated with the respect that a sub should be treated with. Because believe me, you can't be a dominant if you don't have any subs.
Correct. You can be a D type.
Right. But you can't be a dominant without subs or slaves. You have to be, present, and you have to be knowledgeable, and you have to know how to do certain things. Some of the things that I'm seeing now that I'm kind of back into it, uh, we've got people that will go from one scene to the next scene to the next scene, and tend to me forget about the S type that they were with, not do the aftercare that they're supposed to do, because they're so busy going to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if you've seen that. Uh,
I have. And I mean, sometimes D types aren't necessarily good at aftercare, but having an assistant or a S type in your service that is good at aftercare or that can give the aftercare is always necessary. Because sometimes it could be the type of event where you are going to do scene back to back to back because you got a list full of people. But you have to prepare yourself as a D type to have things available for the bottom or the S type to be able to get the aftercare that they need.
and I hope that people understand how important that is. Um, Now, to me, I can't speak for other dominants, but to me, before I take my leave or take my aftercare, I need to make sure that my S type is taken care of first.
Correct.
And to me, that goes without saying. But obviously, that's also is a possibility. Some things that are not being done properly.
What did Nathan say? People have a tendency to withhold information. Can y'all come and put this in the window? Thank you. Did y'all get y'all's up? Sorry.
What is Nathan? What is FOMO? I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, it says tendency to withhold information because of FOMO. I believe that's the M.
Yeah,
Um,
that's an M.
so, and here's the thing.
Fear of missing out.
Okay, it here's the thing. People, and I definitely can't agree with that. But when you're talking about um, not knowing how to do something, maybe an S type wants a certain tool used on them, and you don't know, honestly, you don't know how to use the tool, but you're going to do it anyway because you don't want that S type to go to somebody else, or you don't want that S type to uh, find you lacking. Um, that's personal, honey. That don't have nothing to do with that doesn't have anything to do with our community.
Exactly.
That's personal because I know that there are some things as a dominant that I don't do, but I have other dominant family that I can recommend to a S type that can. I'm not a heavy top. I'm
Me
not a heavy.
neither.
So I'm not minding that I know some heavy tops. I can send a sub or slave of mine to the heavy top, and I don't have a problem with it. But this stuff of just kind of perpetrating, to me, is also kind of like a predator type of action.
It is.
No, okay, so Nathan states, "Pardon my ignorance, but the dom sub situation sounds like it is specialized therapy for both parties.
It can be.
It can be, yeah, it can be, and that once again that depends on the individuals. That depends on the conversations that you're having. Um, some I'm the type of dominant. I can leave what I've done right there. I'm kind of like I'm like a to me I call myself like a cut and dry dominant, and I personally don't need aftercare for myself.
I
I,
do after a full weekend.
but I do need,
I crash.
but I do know that I need my S type to be taken care of. That part, and I don't, and I personally like to make sure I'm taking care of my S type. But I'm old school. I'm a little old school. I'm gonna go with that. I'm a little old school.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely, but again, back to this predatory thing, it's one of those things where it's about the integrity of it all, whether you're a swinger or BDSM, the predatory attitudes, thinking that you're entitled to do something because of who you are, or you're entitled to something because of who you are, is a problem.
And also not being forthcoming with important information about yourself,
Yeah.
about your health, Um, I know that in my personal life, I suffered from my first husband not telling me that he had an STI. Um, Women don't have symptoms, guys, when it comes to gonorrhea or syphilis. Men have the symptoms when it comes to chlamydia or I'm trying to think of the other one. It just left my brain. But anyway, uh,
Trichomonas.
yeah, trichomoniasis and there's another one. The women have the symptoms and the men don't, but the men can
Transmit.
transmit it, and vice versa for the woman with the syphilis and the gonorrhea. And that's why it's so important to talk and to communicate, because all of these things left untreated, left unmedicated, can do a world of damage.
I agree.
So it has to be it, these conversations have to be had, and we're not when you're not doing it, you're risking somebody else's health, you're risking somebody else's life, you're risking somebody else's fertility. um and I can go on and on and on. It's just not This is not the way things should be. We already have an issue when it comes to trying to talk about sex. Now, of course, we have an issue when we talk about STIs, and we're not getting anywhere. We're not moving forward. We're not doing better. If anything, with all of the information that we do have out there, we're doing worse.
Exactly.
We are doing worse. In the BDSM world, someone can be killed at an event, not on purpose, but it can be accidental. It can be, um,
It's an assumed risk.
there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk in here. And as
Yeah, BV too.
as a dominant, you can't be into your own self and not give, you know, 10 fucks about your S type.
That part.
Keeping everybody safe is the most important thing that we want to do when we're hosting events or when we're having events. There was a large event this past weekend down in Atlanta. The self event was going on, and I think is that something that happens
It's yearly.
yearly. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's the Southeast Leather Fest. Yeah, it happens yearly.
And they had a lot of different stuff going on down there. I happened to be in Atlanta for a different reason, but um, it's a weekend event. It's well represented. But
Hey,
once,
Thundercat.
but some of us have to. Thank you, Thunder. Um, some of us have to understand when we go to something like that, certain protocol has to be done. And I know when you're at a big event, things can get a little uh, kind of cray cray, a little crazy, but you got to stay focused and you got to do the right things by the people that are there, that are participating, because you never know who's new. You really don't know who's been around. I mean, you probably know who's been around, and you might know who's new. But if they're from different parts of the country, you don't necessarily know who's new and who's been around forever and a day, unless it's someone that you see on your travels um, to different events and different venues. So it's very, very important that you have conversations, that you talk things out, and that you're forthcoming and that you're transparent when you're speaking to an S type or a dominant. Uh,
Yep.
shouldn't be any uh, anything left to chance because you just don't know. You just don't know. What advice could you give an S type in getting to know a new dominant?
Don't be so quick to be owned.
Mm,
Be secure in yourself to know that you're the prize. That part too, Thundercat. Stay true to your word and stand on what you said. Yeah, honesty and integrity are the biggest things, but that's on both parts, not just submissive, not just dominance. Everybody's integrity is important. Um, don't be 100% submissive during vetting. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Don't be so quick to give up your submission. Guard your submission with your life. Know what you want. Know what your expectations of the dominant are. Speak those expectations up front. Um, do not do not let your hard nose be known. Those are conversations, those are the hard conversations that need to be said up front. Yeah, basically what I was just saying. Um, she said, know what you are willing to do and what you are not willing to do. I always keep my submissives on a 3 month negotiation. We renegotiate or recommunicate what it is we both want, especially what they want every 3 months. What Because things change, people change, emotions change, and sometimes dynamics can be both a dynamic and romantic. So we need to discuss those changes quarterly, in my opinion. Some people do it yearly, some people do it every 6 months, but people's emotions and things change to me can change quarterly. So those conversations need to be had and had often. She said, be nosy.
so
I mean, she's right though, because sometimes when you're not nosy, you find out things later, and there were things that you needed to know at first.
right,
No
right,
question is a dumb question, and if they don't want to answer the question, then that's a them problem,
and that's a
and it's also a red flag.
red flag. And we have talked about red flags on this show so much. Do not run to the red flag, okay?
Run away.
This way, exit stage left, okay?
Question the red flag.
Just
Become inquisitive when you see a red flag.
mhm.
Read references. Vet when you're vetting somebody. Don't just vet with that person. Don't just take what they say at face value. Investigate. Investigate, investigate, investigate. Check those references and make sure that that's really who knows them. Don't be afraid. She says she is the red flag. No, you're not. Babe, stop. Uh-huh. Don't be afraid to say, like, say if you're vetting me, we'll use me as an example, and I say I know Miss JewCee. Do not be afraid to possibly hop in Miss JewCee's inbox and say, hey, so and so says that they know you. Do you really know them? How well do you know them? Is there anything bad that I need to know? Yes, Nathan, yes, you are
Yeah,
completely right. A lot of times we talk about BDSM and lifestyle stuff, but a lot of the information that we give is good for all types of relationships. I tell people that all the time when I teach my intimacy classes. They think they come in just to get intimacy classes and learn how to do kink stuff, but the information that I'm giving these people is good for regular everyday relationships, not just kink based relationships.
And on top of that, if you're seeing somebody hesitant, if your spider senses start to tingle one way or the other, whether you're the dominant or you're the S type, listen to your instincts, because your instincts are trying to warn you. This, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Don't think that
I
you
like that one, Thundercat. Make sure your morals align.
don't think that you have to be with someone because you want to be with someone. Don't do
Mhm.
that to yourself.
What's wrong?
Oh, Uber's getting me right now. About that time.
Oh, for in the morning?
Yep, they're coming in hot and heavy. Eh,
That's that money.
I got an event coming up. I need every penny. So it's like I said, everything that we're telling you, can it be utilized? It can be utilized in the workplace. It can be utilized in your vanilla relationship. It can be utilized in a friendship. It can be utilized anywhere that you need it to be utilized at. Anything that has to do with you communicating with somebody else and making sure that you're in a safe space, you're in a welcome space, and you're not in a space with a predator. You want to make we want you to understand how important it is, especially when we're talking about this lifestyle, especially the BDSM lifestyle, the fetishes. We want you to understand how important it is to ask questions, especially if you are an S type and you think that as an S type you don't have you're not in the position to ask any questions of the dominant. That's not true. You are able to ask questions. You are able, to get truth. You should be getting truthful answers. Um, you're able to go investigate or ask someone else about this dominant. You're able to go do those things. You don't have to just go by what the dominant says. Do your research, because if this is someone that you want to be under, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to win, not in a position to fail. So you definitely want to make sure that you're able to be around this person and trust this person. Trust is the biggest word that I can come up with, and it has to do with all types of relationships. Thundercat,
Sorry, the children kept walking in my room. Thundercat's calling herself a runaway slave.
I saw. She states that so don't care what people think about you. What's for you is for you. That was the
Mhm.
problem. I questioned everything. Laugh out loud. If it looked funny, it was funny. And like I said, if you're having second thoughts, if your spider senses are tingling, follow your instincts. They're in you to protect you. They're in you to say, danger, Will Robinson, danger. It's trying to tell you, don't go that way. Follow your instincts. Sometimes you don't have to go to 10 other people. All you have to do is just listen to yourself. Believe in yourself enough to listen to yourself.
As my mama used to tell me, follow the yellow brick road. It'll lead you where you're supposed to be. That was the best advice the Munchkins ever gave. Follow the yellow brick road.
The Munchkins. Ah,
I like what she said. If I have to question your leadership, I'm cool. I'm not an easygoing submissive. You can't just tell me anything. I agree.
let's give some signs. These are some things possibly to look for. Signs of a predator include lack of concern for the well-being of others. Sounds familiar, okay?
Lack of
Superficial,
communication.
superficial social charm, self-absorption,
Mm,
limited empathy,
mm.
impulsivity, manipulative tendencies, seeming too perfect, entitlement, mastery at exploitation, feigning intimacy.
You know what that sounds like? Narcissism.
Could be.
That sounds like narcissism.
That's what he
Is
just.
lack of accountability on there too?
It probably is, but that was the list I found. It just has to be. If you can remember,
Even Robert said it. He said it as I was saying it.
Mhm. Once again, we'll go over the signs of a predator one more time. Lack of concern for the well-being of others, superficial social charm, self-absorption, limited empathy, impulsivity, manipulative tendencies, seeming too perfect, entitlement, mastery at exploitation, and feigning intimacy.
Yeah.
Um, I can also, let's see, one of the other pieces I found is recognizing the predatory behavior can be challenging, but there are some common traits that you can basically look for. And changing and persuasive. Predators often appear charming and persuasive. Predators often appear charming and persuasive. They use their charisma to manipulate others. Grandiose
Oh,
self
that sounds like Trump. Sorry. I had to throw
grandiose,
that in there.
grandiose self-worth. They have an inflated sense of self-importance and believe they deserve special treatment. Now that sounds like Trump, okay? For sure.
That's what I was saying. You were starting to describe Trump.
Deceitful and manipulative. Predators are skilled at deception. They hide their true intentions and manipulate situations to their advantage.
That part.
Lack of empathy. They show little empathy for others' feelings or well being. Their actions prioritize their own needs. Aggressive and domineering. Predators may exhibit aggressive behavior and seek control over others. And then it says craving power and control. They desire power and control over people and situations.
Okay, so I agree with all of that, but I'm going to throw something else in when it comes to maybe a predatory S type. Um, Over empathy, because they want you to feel want you to feel like they care. So even though they don't care, they're always asking about your day. They're always interjecting themselves and trying to make themselves seem perfect for you, trying to make their submission seem perfect, trying to fit what it is your requirements are instead of just being who they are.
And that can also go
Thundercat, go to
that
the corner.
that also can go for a dominant.
Yeah. She said, or put they thing down, flip it and reverse it, make it your fault.
Yeah.
Corner, Thundercat.
Hey, Wes. Yeah,
Hi, Wesley.
there's a lot of things, like I said, when you're looking at this, and if you guys can see some of the warning signs before you get way deep in it. um
Yeah, we said that earlier, Thundercat, that there's a lot of S types that dom hop.
yeah, there's so many that, and yeah, we did talk about that, and we got to watch that. You got to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And those are questions, once again, that the dominant can ask the sub, or the S type, or the sub or slave.
Mm-hmm.
How many dominants have you had within a year? You know.
That is so correct. She said some people want to fit in so bad that they are willing to be with anything or anybody. And it's crazy how that is so true.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
You have to
There's no
understand.
way I'm even calling them daddy in 30 days.
You have to understand that some people are basically, for lack of a better term, they're looking for love in all the wrong places.
They need to love themselves first.
Exactly. But they're trying to find what they feel that they're lacking in other people, and you're never going to find it in somebody else. You have to find it within yourself.
Yep.
You have to take that.
Woohoo.
You have to take that
Sorry.
time.
I
You
just got a text that said we're getting thunderstorms in the next couple hours.
have
I just got excited.
it's really important that everybody understands that. Don't act like you're desperate. There's enough out here. There's enough dominance out here, if you're a sub or slave, to find the right one, and take your time. But once again, make sure you're communicating. Make sure you're asking questions. Make sure you're doing your due diligence to make sure that you put yourself in a safe
Correct,
environment.
Nathan.
Happiness is an inside job. Yes, it is.
You know what my favorite movie is? Inside, where it's got all the different parts or whatever of the person in the brain,
Hmm.
the part, all the different people basically that control how the brain works, and it shows how they all work together to make that person happy with themselves. I think that's like a really good movie on how to balance your emotion. Inside Out, yeah, Inside Out. That's what I mean. On how to balance who you are.
And don't be afraid to go. I mean, go to counseling. Go talk to somebody. If you see a pattern within yourself, go get that taken care of. Go
It's a
chit.
lot of people that need therapy.
Yeah, go chit chat with somebody. Go.
I actually miss my therapist. She's on hiatus right now. I miss her dearly, but August can't get here fast enough.
Make sure that you're talking to someone, and you have two of us right here that are in this lifestyle. Adding Thundercat would be three. But you have people that are in the lifestyle that can also help you navigate what you're getting into. But the one thing I will say, if you're a S type, sometimes you need to shut up and listen. You talk too much and you're not listening, And I'm not talking about just listening with your ears, but I'm talking about listening and listening with your eyes. Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Or are you too caught up in what you're hoping will be, you know, the best time of your life? So,
Yeah. Thundercat said D types too. You're right.
yeah,
Everybody needs it.
you got to be quiet sometimes. Just go somewhere quiet, write things down, journal things. But
All
don't,
D types can shut up. I'm
yeah,
one of them. Shut up and listen sometimes.
yeah, sometimes you have to just do that. And that's one of the best forms of being able to communicate is to be able to listen and take a moment to understand, take a moment to put yourself in somebody else's position. But you can't know that position unless you talk to them. You can assume a lot of things, but you don't know until you
Mm-hmm.
really have those conversations. And so it's
I
very, very
agree.
important that you talk to as an S type, that you talk to the dominant, you vet the dominant, you make sure that the dominant is not because maybe you've heard that they're great or they're this or they do this particular skill really well. Make sure it's a good fit, period.
Right.
It's not just about them, but it's also about you, because you will get some dominants that forget all about you.
Girl, you are not a runaway. I'm about to throw you in a corner. She's
It's,
hilarious today. But yeah, I agree. I agree from both perspectives as an S type and a D type. Um, Communication is always key, and sometimes communication doesn't mean talking, it means listening.
mhm.
Clear, concise communication. We talk about it all the time.
Them three
Evening,
C's.
Prince.
Hey, Prince, you're late.
Leave them alone.
So it's real important, like we said, that you ask the right questions, and you, number one, you take your time and you take a breath, um, just to make sure that this is what you want. Because being in a situation where you're not treated well, or where either unwarranted and unwanted verbal abuse or physical abuse is being done, whether you're in the BDSM lifestyle or whether you're a vanilla or whether you're in a swinger, it doesn't matter. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It has to. It all has to make sense, and it all has to um,
Mhm.
be
That's true. Thundercat.
conducive. What she saying? D type so busy
D
having.
type so busy having all the answers, they forget they have a submissive. Red flag.
Hmm.
Yep, he was out being fast, Thundercat.
So it's important that um, I just had another question. What is your advice to someone that has been in a situation and they discovered something about their dominant that's not good at all? How do they bring that to the forefront? How do they
Ask that question again.
What do you say to someone that has a dominant that has done something horrific? I feel, in my opinion, um, because there are some things, when you're not, to me, the things that are horrific would be a dominant that doesn't know how to control themselves, um, that is in the doesn't read the room, doesn't know the atmosphere that they're in, um,
Mm-hmm.
or a dominant that isn't clean, or a dominant that isn't skilled in certain disciplines.
And still performs them.
Hmm.
One, a conversation needs to be had with that dominant. And if you don't feel comfortable as the S type having that conversation, then you need to go to somebody that you know that that dominant trusts. If their integrity is in order to where they even have a village around them. Because even though we're dominants, we still should have a village of people that hold us accountable. So go to somebody that you know that's going to hold them accountable. Ask for a mediation. I know when it comes to leather community, mediations and keeping things in house are common. So request a mediation from somebody that you know that they admire or look up to or have been mentored under. But I would definitely, like she said, bring it up respectfully. Yeah. I mean, whether you can bring it up respectfully or not, depending on the situation, a mediator or an advocate still need to be brought in because, again, sometimes S type to D type conversations don't always go too well, and another D type needs to be there.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You need to have someone that's going to have your back.
Somebody that's going to have your back and protect you, but it needs to be somebody on their level
Right. Right. And it's,
or higher, or higher.
yeah, it's really important that, like I said, we've talked about the term, we've talked about what a predator is, we've talked about some of the signs of someone that is possibly a predator, and you want to make sure that you kind of stay clear of that person or persons, because no matter what lifestyle you're in, the object is to have a good time. It's maybe
Amen.
it's maybe to uh, stretch your limits a little bit, is maybe to meet new people that are like-minded. Whatever the case may be, it's supposed to be a positive experience. It should never be overshadowed by negativity, and that's what's happening. Exactly,
Yep.
honey cat. If you don't address it, it will keep happening. And it doesn't necessarily have to keep happening to you. It can happen to
It
others.
can happen to the next person.
Right.
Because again, they're a predator.
And I want to go over one more time. In closing, I want people to understand the definition of a predator is a person who ruthlessly exploits others. A sexual predator, her wealth made her vulnerable to predators. A company that tries to take over another, a defensive move to prevent the business falling into the hands of overseas predator. Um, and then once again, we had let me get this.
I
We had the
like it when you
signs.
want 11 million Thundercat.
We have the signs of a predator, which include lack of concern for the well being of others, superficial social charm, self absorption, limited empathy, impulsivity, manipulative tendencies, seeming too perfect, entitlement, mastery at exploitation, and fiending intimacy. Those are signs of a predator, but those are there, and there may be more. Okay, there may be more,
Mm-hmm.
but do your due diligence, do your homework, do your whatever it is you need to do to make sure. Ask questions first before you engage, and then take your time. Don't rush into anything. If it's meant to be, it will be. I think Thundercat said it best. If it's for you, it will be for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Thundercat said some D types don't know how to talk to some S types. I can
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. I've seen that. So in closing, guys, just be super duper careful. Understand that predators are in all walks of life, and they are not just men, they are women as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it doesn't matter when the predatory person pops into your life, it can be very harmful to you. It can be harmful to your psyche. It can be harmful to your mental capacity. It can be harmful to your physical capacity. So understand who is in your life, and if you're able to break free, make a clean break and don't look back.
Amen.
Don't look back.
Hi, Lorenzo.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Are you back from vacation yet, my friend?
We were not expecting to see you tonight because I figured. I know we got the show up late too. Sorry, guys. I was traveling and it's been a heck of a week. So we're a little late getting the show up. Didn't get it up until today. But I was in Atlanta this weekend myself. So, and I'm bushed. I'm tired. But we do want you to know about the Ebony Erotic Experience. Oh, happy birthday, Casey! Happy birthday! We love you.
Thank you, Javisa.
Um, Next, hopefully by the end of the week, we will have everything set for you guys for the Ebony Erotic Experience, the Day of the Dead, your erotic
Thank you,
rebirth.
Nathan.
We are looking forward to having you guys join us one more time in Cleveland, Ohio, before we move this event to Indianapolis, Indiana next year. So, November 1st and 2nd, mark your calendars, save the date, get your coins together, and
Get them coins.
come join us. We're going to have so much fun. And when we say we got some heavy hitters, we got some heavy hitters. Okay. We've got some people that you simply don't want to miss seeing and being in their seminars. So it is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to really, make this uh,
Come on, Robert.
event. He said, "Let me get a winter coat." Yeah, let's just make sure you're not blown off the map first. Okay. Okay. But we really are going to have our lineup is complete. We finished that today. Um, and our pricing is ready to go. So we've pretty much got everything in order. We just need each and every one of you to join us November 1st and 2nd here in Cleveland, Ohio. It is a 2-day event, and your tickets include all the classes and seminars, um, and your food. Got to make sure we talk about the food, demos, a dungeon, which Miss Purple Rain and Miss Thunder, I think, is Thunder going to help you again?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Thunder Cat is going to help with again. They will be running the dungeon, so we'll have a little bit of BDSM in the house. But this one is definitely for you folks out there that want to learn better technique. If you want to learn how to enhance the romance a little bit, if you want to learn more about self love and self pleasuring, this definitely is for you, as well as couples, as well as individuals. So stick and stay, because you know we're going to be announcing it till, and we are limited. I wanted to let me make sure I explain that. Tickets are limited, and we do have sponsor packets available. So make sure
We love you, Thundercat.
if you're interested, make sure um, that you are in the house. And uh, Moses Snapshot Wilson will be our professional photographer this time around. So we see him in the group tonight. So, hey, Moses. And we want to give him a shout out because he is definitely going to be snapping the pictures for the event. So, once again, we'll be releasing tickets probably by the end of the week, and you guys can get your tickets as soon as you like. We're working on a couple of different ways to pay. We've almost got everything set up for payment, taking payments. Afterpay is one of the uh, people that we are, or one of the um, I don't know what you want to call them, but one of the financial folks that we're working with in order to set up payment plans for folks. The event is only open to 50 patrons, 50 people. So get your tickets, get them early. Don't hesitate. Make sure you're in the house for the Ebony Erotic Experience, the Day of the Dead. Hey, your erotic rebirth. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.
We are definitely.
So crazy. And we'll be announcing along the way some of our special guests and what they will be doing. Hmm. So anything you want to add to that?
Nope. Just love yourselves, people.
Please do. Please
Love
do.
your love yourself first before you do anything else. Love will naturally come to you if you love in many forms, because I don't just mean romantic love. Will come to you as soon as you love yourself. Predators prey on people who they can see don't love themselves, because they can manipulate those people because they know they crave love.
Exactly. Exactly. And we're here. We're here if you guys want to talk, if you need a hug, even if it's a virtual hug, just let us know. We're here. And once again, we ask that you keep our sister
That part.
in prayer, her and her husband, Michael, Miss Cyrus. She joined us briefly tonight, which was great to see her beautiful face. And Michael goes through another surgery this week, so we definitely want to keep them uplifted in prayer. So once again, you guys, we had a great time tonight. We hope you
We
learned
did.
something. Hope you got some information that you can take back and utilize it, whether it is in the lifestyle or it's in your monogamous relationship or whether it's at work or friendship. But if you don't have the 3 C's, clear, concise communication, make sure you get it. Okay?
Please.
Make sure you get it. Okay.
Clear, concise communication.
What you got going on this week, girly?
Nothing this week. June has been light for me. I'm waiting for July. My girl Thundercat has Kitty Land. We're completely sold out. I'm in the dungeon and helping her running her event that weekend. So yeah, just October's been a quiet month for me. I did do a podcast on Saturday. I was a guest speaker. We talked about the lifestyle and sex, and I got to promote, my education side of it a little bit. So that was great. Outside of that, I'm just working my regular and preparing myself for Kitty Land.
All right. Sounds like a winner.
Yeah.
Next time I will be traveling to Dayton, Ohio next weekend. Not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend.
The
On
end of
the
the month.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to Dayton and set up there with JewCee Boutique. So
Okay, baby.
check us out. I'll be putting the flyer up on my page so everybody can see it. All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Remember to enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism for myself, Ms. JewCee, and my beautiful, gorgeous, vivacious co-host, Miss Purple Rain. Man, have a great week and enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism. We'll see you guys soon. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.